Warning, we are not trained or licensed professionals. Do not take any advice that we give as official doctoral prescribed medical treatment. We only use the name as a means to appreciate cinema as a therapeutic device, not to be confused with drugs, antidepressants, or any other forms of enhancements that you might find in legal states. Please enjoy responsibly.
Additional disclaimer. If the film says we can say it too. So check the film rating, and that will be our episode rating.
Welcome to this 30s episode of Film Therapy.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
This is the oldest movie we've done so far.
Yes.
1934.
Yep.
All right, and we watched It Happened One Night, which I couldn't remember the title of today.
It was the greatest thing ever. Emily would be proud. Maddie said,
like,
what did she say?
What are we watching? I think I said, what is the movie called that we were watching
Oh, yeah. What's the movie we're watching called again?
You just were like, LOL.
Yeah.
But yes, we watched It Happened One Night.
Yes, which it did not happen one night. It happened several nights.
Yeah, I don't know why I guess because it was based on a short story, but I don't know how many nights it happened in the short story, so.
But the short story had a different title.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, it was called, one moment.
It was called The Walls of Jericho.
No.
It was called Sound the Trumpets.
No, it was called Night Bus. Night
Oh,
Bus.
oh yeah.
Which is actually kind of more fitting. Night Bus. Yeah.
Why the long faces?
So that night bus scene, not to be confused with The Night Bus. Is that what you were referencing, Maddie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take it away, Ernie.
Take it away. So anyway, this movie.
Oh yeah, this movie
was directed by Frank Capra,
who you may know from It's a Wonderful Life. Also directed that. You might have seen it. If you haven't, go watch it.
If you haven't, you know the story. The three ghosts of Christmas past,
No, that's a
present,
Christmas
future.
Carol, Maddie.
Wait, isn't that what happens in It's a Wonderful Life?
No. It's a Wonderful Life is Jimmy Stewart and then Clarence the Guardian Angel. You're thinking of Christmas Carol.
But it's the same thing, right?
No, they're totally different.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I am positive. Why would I not be sure?
I thought It's a Wonderful Life was like the beginning of that whole thing.
No.
What did they do, though? They travel into his past, present, and future.
No. They travel into the reality if he didn't exist. We see his past, present, future, but that's like the main story. There's just one angel.
Well, it's like kind of the same.
Yeah, but you thought it was the exact same.
Okay. It's a similar premise. Not
really. They both take place on Christmas. There's that. There's a spiritual element. I'll give you that.
Okay.
But one's about the man rediscovering his joy in life, and the other one's about a man rediscovering his joy in life. You might be onto something.
I don't know. Whatever. Frank Capra.
Yeah. So one of them has Jimmy Stewart, the other one has Muppets. We're moving on.
No, one of them has the Mickey
difference.
Mouse characters.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's another version with Muppets.
I've only seen the Mickey Mouse version.
Okay. Maybe we'll watch Muppet Christmas Carol next time.
Oh, God.
There's two versions of that, too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, it's long and complicated. Basically, somebody said one thing, someone else said another thing, and then when it came out in theaters, it was this. When it came onto video, it was this.
Oh,
and then
really?
It's like a whole thing.
Oh,
It's not to the level of Star Wars, but it's just like it's just like a few minutes were cut, but then it's like I haven't seen that part, but it's like supposedly like changes the whole movie or something. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The only one I saw was like when it was on Netflix eons ago or on TV or something. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't know which one I saw. But I have the DVD sitting in my closet somewhere. I could just watch that.
You could just pop it on in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this movie stars.
Not Cary Grant. What's his name?
I know. I kept thinking it was Cary Grant, but it's not.
The guy from Gone with the Wind who has the famous line. Yeah. We went to film school for 3 years. We don't know shit. You wouldn't believe it if we told you.
Okay, so his name is Clark Gable. Clark Gable, everybody. And then Claudette Colbert. Colbert?
Colbert, like Stephen Colbert.
Is it like Stephen Colbert? Okay.
I think so. She was also in Cleopatra, which I think was lost for like years.
She was in Bluebeard's Eighth Wife, Since You Went Away, The Palm Beach Story. That's what she's known for. I don't think I've seen her. I haven't seen any of those movies.
I have not either.
And then
We're film students.
and then Clark Gable was in. I think I've seen him in other. Well, obviously, yeah, Gone with the Wind.
Haven't seen it. Sorry.
Mutiny on the Bounty, Red Dust. It's on the IMDb page. It Happened One Night comes before Gone with the Wind. That's kind of surprising, huh?
Well, because this won the top 5 awards, and I don't.
Yeah.
What did Gone with the Wind? I'm sure it won a lot of shit.
It won the Best Picture.
Yeah, for sure. Gone with the Wind won picture, director, actress, supporting actress, screenplay, art direction, cinematography. So, yeah, so it won a lot of awards, but it didn't win the top 5 like this one did.
So the top 5 would be
picture,
director, actor, actress,
and screenplay. And
dang.
Only 3 movies in history have won all 5. This film, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and The Silence of the Lambs.
Wow.
So now I've seen 2 of those 3.
Which one are you missing? Silence of the Lambs?
No, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, okay.
Which I really want to see. It's on Netflix, so why haven't I watched it yet? Because I'm a lazy son of a bitch.
No, you're not. You're watching other movies. You're getting out there. You're doing stuff. You just haven't seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You're good. You're good.
That was the validation I needed. Thank you for bringing me that. I know we're joking, but I'm serious.
Don't feel bad. It's good. You'll get to it.
So basically, It Happened One Night takes place over several nights. Would you mind synopsizing this for us, please?
I shall start the synopsis. So our story begins with a rich heiress named Ellen, or people call her Ellie Andrews, arguing with her father on his yacht about her marriage to an aviator named King Wesley. But he's not actually King, that's just his name, King. And she jumps off the yacht after being smacked by her father and swims to shore, where she buys a bus ticket to New York from where she is right now in Miami. She
swims to shore.
She swims to shore, yeah. Just kind of wipes the transition, and all of a sudden she's all the way gone, and they can't find her. And she meets a reporter, Peter Warren, on the bus after they are fairly rude to each other about whose seat is whose. He finds out who she is, as there's a big news story about her running away, and offers to help her get to King in New York if he can write an article about her. So he also pays for her meals, clothes, and lodging because her bag was stolen. They share a hotel room after missing the bus after they got off on a station for a break.
Saucy.
They hang a blanket in the middle of the room, and Peter refers to it as the Walls of Jericho, which, if you don't know what that Bible story is, it's from the book of Joshua, the first battle fought by the Israelites in the course of the conquest of Canaan. So the walls of Jericho fell after the Israelites marched every day once for 6 days around the city, and 7 times on the 7th day, and then blew their trumpets. So that's kind of like their inside joke, is their walls of Jericho, separating their 2 twin beds as they sleep on separate sides of the room. So then the papers come out to say that Ellen's father is offering a reward of $10,000 for the return of Ellen. One of the passengers on the bus tries to get in on it with Peter, who is of course not wanting to participate, and he scares him off. They then run away from the bus, which has become stranded, to hitchhike the rest of the way to New York in case any other passengers try to do something similar. On the 3rd night together in their partitioned hotel room, Ellen proclaims her love to Peter, for which he declines. He then leaves in the middle of the night to write a story about his potential marriage to Ellen and sells it to his boss for $1,000. Ellen, of course, thinks he just hates her and just left. So she goes on with her marriage to King. Because, well, technically they're already married, but they're just doing like a marriage celebration that's very public and newsworthy. And Peter then shows up wanting $39 from Ellen's father for what she cost him along their trip. Then her father convinces Ellen to be with Peter, and she leaves King on the altar. Then we see the final scene where Ellen's drunk father gets a telegram from Peter and asks for the annulment money so they can get on with things. And Ellen's father's just like, well, get on with it then. Let the walls of Jericho fall. And then we hear a trumpet and see the blanket fall to the ground and fade to black. The end. So, thoughts?
This movie really just has a lot of individual moments that I just keep thinking about. Like the bus scene where they're all singing and taking turns and each singing a different verse. That was incredible.
I forgot about that already.
I forgot too. That's why I wrote it down. That was a great scene. That was crazy, and none of them could sing, and it was very grating.
I guess it was kind of realistic then.
Yeah.
Like people just having a good time on a bus, sharing a song.
Yeah, it was fun. In the next scene, so the annoying guy, his name is Shapley, and then he's trying to make a deal with Peter, and Peter just like, does he knock him out or does he run away or what happened there?
He just runs away because Peter threatens to kill his children, pretty much, if he turns Ellen in.
Yeah, so then Shapley runs away, and then Jason pops out of the woods and kills him.
Mm-hmm.
Because we never see him again. It happens.
Yeah, we don't ever see him again.
All the movies we talk about are all part of the same universe. So, like, while Zoltar's in the Phantom Zone getting drunk off a squirt, and while Jesse and Celine are meeting on a train for the first time, Shapley's going into the woods getting killed by, well, I guess it would be Mrs. Voorhees, because, you know, this is before 1957, so.
Yeah, true.
And then after that, Ellie and Peter, they go into the water, and they talk about piggyback rides for, like, 3 minutes straight.
Oh my gosh.
It just goes on and on and on.
So they argue back and forth about how to give a piggyback ride. That's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to Before Sunrise because of how they meet on a mode of transportation, public transportation, but not at all like in their dialogue. They argue and bicker the whole time.
I really think this is the phrase bicker like an old married couple came from, because like that's all they do the whole movie is just complain and like go back and forth with each other, but then they're in love, so it's okay.
Yeah. It's not something I can relate to really, because I just don't like arguing. I just think people should just be nice.
Yeah. The Hays Code came into effect 4 months after this was released, so this is like a pre-code movie. And what that was I don't know how many years it was for, but it was like the censorship code, which I believe we talked about last time. Yeah, so basically it's like, oh, you can't have characters, you know, swear, and you can't have characters, you know, like be in bed together. You know, you couldn't do those kinds of things. So this was like released right before that. So I don't know the whole story behind what the code said and what like exactly happened with it. I didn't really pick up on like if that made anything in this movie, you know, quote unquote, like shocking or anything like that, or I can't think of the other word, like controversial, I guess you could say. But
scandalous.
Scandalous. That's the word. Thanks. I just just a nice little bit of trivia that I found. And then the other thing I wanted to say was so this movie, I saw a lot of things in this movie that I know happened in like movies that came out after it, like that became cliches of the genre and all of that. and I think, I don't know if we ever talked about this, Maddie, but I know I've discussed this with somebody, but when there's movies like that have those kind of cliches and story beats and you've seen them repeated before, if you see the imitator first and then the classic after, in the classic movie it feels more cliche, even though that's what came first. It's because your perception is that you're seeing it afterward.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think we have talked about that before. I can't remember in regards to what, but yeah, for sure. It's like running away at the altar, like, oh my gosh, how many movies have we seen that happen in, you know? Or like the couple that hates each other to begin with and then falls in love by the end, or in like a couple days, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those types of tropes. And I wonder if this one is the first or is something. I'm sure there were things before. I mean, like the Taming of the Shrew, the Shakespeare play. Like,
I dropped the screw in the tuna. Sorry. Really odd reference. But anyway, please continue. Okay. That's a reference to the Taming of the Screw, which I always think of whenever someone says Taming of the Shrew.
What is that from?
That's an episode of Kenan and Kel. Drop the screw. Yeah, that. I just lost my voice, so I'm not going to finish.
Oh no.
But here, I'll maybe we'll link the clip.
Okay, yeah, we'll link the clip. So I think like in that play, the guy who's trying to tame the shrew falls in love with her, similar to 10 Things I Hate About You. That's like the play that's based on that. The movie is based on that play. So I guess this idea has been around for a while, and I guess it's pretty natural of occurrence because she's like this outspoken woman who doesn't take no for an answer and just like gets what she wants all the time. Then he comes along and tries to like put her in her place, but then she doesn't listen, and then they end up fighting. Mm-hmm. Which is the whole story. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So what did you think of this movie overall?
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, I agree.
I laughed a lot at, like the singing.
Yeah.
And the Jericho walls and everything. Especially the ending when her father was like, well, I guess they can just go have sex. Let's do it.
yeah, basically.
Because he was like fighting for Peter. Well, he didn't like King at all.
Yeah.
But then when he kind of accepted his daughter's choice to marry King, but then once Peter came and told him he didn't actually want the reward for turning her in, then he was like, oh, this guy's great. Pretty much. He tells her that when he's walking her down the aisle. So she's like, well, thanks, Dad.
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
And of course she runs away.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, okay, so describe that scene in Spaceballs.
So, spoilers for Spaceballs. Princess Vespa is going to marry the Sleepy Prince and Prince Valium. And then at the beginning of the movie and then the end of the movie. And then your father's walking her down the aisle, or it was like right before, it's like in the hall right before they walk down. And then she's got her hair the same as Ellie does in this movie, and then she says to her dad like how could he take the money and run away? And then her dad says, he didn't take the $1 million, he just took this much for gas and food. And then
oh my gosh,
and then he comes back and then they get married.
That's exactly the same. That's funny.
Yes, exactly.
That's great.
I'll try to find like the image of her hair.
Yeah, we can post that on our Instagram.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
I didn't notice any direct correlation to any movies like that, but well, I've seen Spaceballs, but not in like a long time, so I don't remember any of it.
It's been a while, but I saw like part of it on TV like sometime this month or last month. So like
nice. I think I'm not going to dive into the etiquette of how relationships were in the 30s and how they're different from today, because obviously they're different, and some things are accepted nowadays, some things aren't. So I'm not going to dive into that.
Yeah, that's probably best if we stay out of that.
It's whatever, you know. I liked both the actors.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't think either one was particularly attractive per se, but
no.
I've seen other movies in the 30s. I mean, come on. What's her face? Hang on.
While I'm hanging on, I'll say this. Classic movies just give me this vibe of like, I don't know if this is true for you too, and we can, if this is kind of jumping topics a little bit, but classic movies give me this vibe when I start watching one. I'm like, oh, heck yeah. I feel like this is great. I'm watching an old movie. I feel like this weird like nostalgia, even though I wasn't alive during that time. And I feel this like sense of like, wow, I'm sitting down and watching an actual movie, like I'm valuing my time. Yeah. But then there's also a side of me, I don't know if it's like what you'd call ADHD, whatever you'd call it, where I'm like, oh my God, I need to get up and do like 10 different things while this movie's playing.
Yes.
So it's like
I
that
felt
weird,
the same.
That's not like a strike against the movie. That's like a me thing.
No, I felt the same way because when my grandpa was alive, he would always be watching TCM, and all these types of movies would be playing all day long. And so it gives me like that great sense of nostalgia that I would really like to relive. And but also like I never really sat down to, a couple times I would sit down and actually watch them, and sometimes he would too, but he would just have them playing all day, and like he would be playing solitaire or like having his friends over or whatever. And now that's what I want to do. Now that I have cable, I'm going to plug in my TCM and have it playing all day long. But yeah, no, I totally felt like I was like really close to painting my nails during it, but I didn't, because I didn't want to turn the light on and get up. And but I was like, we were both going to the bathroom a lot, and I made food. I was eating popcorn,
yeah, me too.
But yeah, so I totally get that.
I almost did some Christmas shopping. Okay, so what did you find the actress's name or the actor's name?
Judy Garland.
I could have told you that.
I know you could have. She is gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking it was either going to be Judy Garland or Ingrid Bergman because both of them are absolutely beautiful. But I guess she was more in, because Casablanca was 41, 42. But my God, she's absolutely beautiful in that movie.
And men like Cary Grant for sure, but I think he was gay, right?
I don't know if he was or not.
I'm pretty sure he was.
Would you say Humphrey Bogart as well?
Let me look him up.
From Casablanca? Because I was going to say, he's no slouch either.
He looks like Adrian Brody to me. Humphrey Bogart.
Looks like Adrian Brody.
Humphrey Bogart. And I don't really find him attractive.
So, so it says Cary Grant lived with another actor named Randolph Scott off and on for 12 years, and some say it's a gay relationship and some say it's not. And that was like a big deal back then, so
so I'm sure they kept it secret. Yeah, I think he's pretty attractive, because he's kind of like George Clooney-esque.
Shaking his head all the time. Oh my God, I looked up Humphrey Bogart and Adrian Brody. They do look alike.
Yeah, they do.
Like, that's awesome. Yeah, Cary Grant. I think he was in, let me see.
He's in some Hitchcock stuff.
Yes, he was in Notorious with Ingrid Bergman. That's such a good movie.
Oh,
that's
I haven't seen it.
An amazing movie. It's really good. Ingrid Bergman's in it. As I said, she's beautiful. Cary Grant's in it. It's based. I rented it from like the library or something somewhere, and then somebody said to me like basically that movie is just like two beautiful people kissing for 2 hours, and then I watched it, and then I'm like, yeah, it is. That's the movie. And then there's like an actual story around it that's actually really suspenseful.
Okay.
It's good. I recommend it. Let me just double check. It might be. Now, I don't want to overhype it, so take what I say with a grain of salt. So I need to see much more Hitchcock because I've only seen 4 of his movies, but it might be my favorite of his. Might be. That or Psycho. Like, it's a toss-up.
Okay.
Also, if you haven't seen Psycho, stop recording. We're going to go watch Psycho.
Oh, I've seen Psycho.
Have you seen Psycho 2?
No, I haven't seen Psycho 2.
It's actually pretty good. It's really good, actually. Not as good as the first, but still a dang good movie. Psycho 3 is whatever. I haven't watched Psycho 4 yet. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about Judy Garland.
Okay. How'd she die? Overdose?
I think so, but like she was like abused her whole life basically.
Aw.
Because back then it was like the studios and then they're like, oh, you have to be beautiful all the time, and then they
that I can imagine that was suck.
Apparently they like injected her with drugs and shit.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. I have a book. I don't have it with me, but I have this book. It's like Roger Ebert's like great 100 movies or something, and Wizard of Oz is in there, and then he talks about that like briefly, like how there's like that was like a thing back then.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean he knows his stuff. So I don't remember if he said it was like a true thing or if it was like a rumor that was like a reoccurring thing, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
What was the other movie she was in? Have you seen Meet Me in St. Louis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I watched that. I didn't watch it with my grandpa, but I was with my grandpa, and then I came home and watched it.
I think I was with my grandparents when I watched it, yes. Because they lived in St. Louis.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that. Or maybe I did know that. I remember, like, I came home because he, like, drove me home or something, and then I watched, like, half of it on TCM, like, the second half, like, last hour or whatever. And then, like, a year later, when it aired again, I watched the whole thing.
Oh, nice.
So weird little tidbit, but yeah, that movie is great. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so it happened one night. It seems that more and more unless it's like a movie we're both deeply attached to, we don't talk about the movie very much.
I mean, that's okay, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like even with like Breakfast Club, we talked about it a little bit more. Talked about like the really deep stuff.
Yeah.
That's just the thing that happens in our guest episodes too. Is we just usually end up talking about other things. And we give them the space to share what they want to share. So hopefully that's how it happens. Anyway.
That's okay. I mean, this prompts like us talking about things we generally wouldn't have talked about. So I think
that's true.
It's good we watched an older movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. It was fun. I do think my favorite scene now was the bus scene because I don't know if I came back from the bathroom like right before that or what, but I came into the room and then you were on the phone and then we were both just were like laughing hysterically at like three different voices.
Yeah, I think it was like right after a bathroom break.
It was so funny. It was so good. That was amazing.
Yeah. That was great. I'm trying to think of my favorite scene. Maybe the last one, like where her dad says, just go for it. I just think that's really funny for the times, you know.
Just just the dad to be like, okay, go have sex, you're fine. And then the movie literally ends with like,
yeah. We don't even see them. We don't see them together after she decides to be with him. She just runs off the altar, gets in a car, and then that's the last we see of her.
I don't think we see them kiss either.
No.
Like at all. So
yeah, that's weird. They get close one time in the hay pile.
And then they don't. And then I was like, are you kidding me?
They got so close, and it was like they held their faces together for a long time, but it didn't happen.
I think my exact reaction was like, okay, it's a 30s movie, so they have to kiss by the end of it because they're not going to have sex. And guess what? It's the opposite happens. Samsonite. I was way off.
Oh, gosh.
Thanks, Emily. This was good.
Yeah, thanks for your suggestion, Emily.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what I watched this week.
Yeah, jump into it.
So, remember when I told you I got 3 movies from the Dollar Tree right in like Halloween season?
Oh yeah, and you didn't tell me what they were, did you?
I don't know if I did because I probably didn't remember the names, but I didn't have my DVD player since then, so I just got it back and I just watched one of them this last weekend. It was called High Voltage.
Oh, cool.
Starring David Arquette and this one chick, and Luke Wilson's in it for a while.
I think I've heard of that actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very funny because it's horrible.
What's it about?
It's about this washed up rock star who gets this band together with this like new girl who's going to bring all the sex appeal and like talent basically because she can sing really well and she's pretty. So he's like using her to get famous again. But then she gets electrocuted by lightning. And it gets like this special power where she can like, I guess, yeah, basically kill people by shocking them, but she like seduces them and then kills them for why, I don't know. But it's just really, really funny. So then like it's the dynamic between David Arquette and this girl trying to become famous, and like there's like power. They like debate on who's the leader of the group and everything. I don't remember how it ends, but it was fun to watch.
It sounds incredible. It sounds amazing.
Fun. Yeah. I will definitely be watching it again. Then we put on another one that was also that I got at the Dollar Tree, but it was like too violent for after that, and I was like, it was too late in the night, and I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore, and so we turned on some funny show. So
also David Arquette and Luke Wilson were also together in Scream 2.
Oh yeah,
they were both in Scream 2. I mean, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scriforum, 5 Cream.
Scriforum.
Good titles. So what was the movie you didn't sit through?
Okay, so the one we didn't watch it's called Playback, and it has Johnny Picard and Christian Slater.
Okay.
Yeah, we only played it for like the beginning, and I was like not feeling it. I don't know.
I get you. Did you get another one too, or just those two?
Yeah, I got another one that's called like Love in Paris or something. It has that Melanie girl in it from Up in the Air.
Okay.
Or no, okay, so it has Melanie Linsky in it. It's called We'll Never Have Paris.
It's called We'll Never Have Paris?
Yeah, and it's kind of like a rom-com.
I think that's like a We'll Never Have Paris. Okay, I have not heard of it.
Again.
Oh, it's the dude from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
And Spock is in it too. The guy who plays Spock now. And the voice of Dipper from Gravity Falls. And Doc Ock.
Oh my gosh.
So a lot of famous people. And then Melanie Linsky from Up in the Air and Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, she plays the creepy aunt.
Yeah, she does. Ugh.
That's hard to stomach because I love her.
Yeah. It's the same thing as there's an anime where, well, I guess I could just say the character names. There's an anime called Fairy Tail where the main character is named Natsu, and the same voice actor who voices him voices one of the villains in Sword Art Online, and he's like a terrible creep.
Oh no.
And tries to, assault the main girl. So like having those two dynamics is, and then I told one of my friends, and my friend was like, no, don't tell me that, they're the same actor. And I'm like, he's very versatile.
That's true. It means you're a good actor.
So it's a similar type of thing. And I just bumped this desk. I'm glad I took the mirror off because the mirror would have fallen.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway. So is there anything else you watched?
I think that's all I watched. I think that's all. What did you watch?
So my sister and I were talking about this because she had said that there's a movie on Plus that she had heard about called Clouds, and I'd also heard about it because Sabrina Carpenter is the main lead in it, one of the leads in it. And then I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. So I watched it. It was pretty good. It also has Neve Campbell plays the mom. She's Sydney from the Scream movies.
Who's Sydney?
She's the main character.
Oh, okay.
She's like the Nancy of Scream, basically.
Oh. Okay.
It was a good movie.
What's it about?
It's about this kid that has cancer. And that kind of movie. And then he and his friend, played by Sabrina, they make a song. It's based on a true story. They write a song and then it becomes like a national hit.
Aww.
It was good. I liked it. There was definitely emotional parts to it, but it took me out of it a little bit because if you've ever seen Lemonade Mouth, the greatest decom ever made, they there's a scene in that movie that's like the same exact thing happens in Clouds as well, and when it happened, it pulled me out of the movie because I'm like, hey, it's like in Lemonade Mouth.
Oh yeah, which one was made first? Lemonade Mouth.
Lemonade Mouth, yeah, because this just came out like this month. Like it's brand new. It's brand new. That's all I watched new wise, but old wise, I spur of the moment, I decided I want to rewatch the Rocky movies. So I've watched Rocky 1 to 6. They all still hold up. They're all pretty good. The first two were really, really good. 3 and 4 are also great. 5 gets shit on a lot, and it's not very good. Something feels kind of off about it, but there's good things in it. So it's like a movie that's trying but can't quite, reach that level. And then 6 is the saddest one, but it's still pretty inspiring. I watched it this morning. So, yeah, I guess that's all I got. But, yeah, nice. I loved those. I got because I saw, like, a trailer for them when I was a kid, like the DVD box set. And then I got it for, like, my birthday one year, and I just loved those movies so much. And I haven't seen them in years. So going back to watch them again. So I'll probably watch Creed 1 and 2 sometime this week or in this month, because that's what comes after. Yeah, they're still really good, and they're some of the most inspiring movies ever made, I think.
Ashamedly, I've only seen Creed 1.
Well, that's one of the best ones, so you're good.
I liked it. That was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I need to go see the other ones for sure, because I need to go home, watch Rocky, because...
Well, screw it. We'll just do a Rocky marathon next. I just watched them all. They're fresh in my brain.
And then we'll end with Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Hell to the yes. I think we'll put the picture of us dressed up on Instagram. Yes. Perfect.
We made iconic costumes, everyone.
We really were iconic for that was like our 15 minutes of fame.
That was so fun. So no emails this week, but hopefully next week. Send in your emails, people. Send in your emails. Fake scenarios.
Come on, it's easy. It's easy.
Joke around with.
You really don't have to write us a freaking essay. Just
someone else's problem that you think is bad, and we can talk about.
Yeah, needs fixing, and then share our podcast with them so we get more views.
We have our Film Therapy Podcast Instagram, Film Therapy Podcast YouTube, filmtherapypodcast@gmail.com email, and we'd love to see you follow us, make comments on our posts every week about the movie if you've seen it, or movies that we should watch if you want to request one. What else do we have? Is that it?
Yeah. I think that's it. Thank you for
your support.
Thanks for your support. And really, like, if there's a movie that you want us to talk about, I mean, we might hate it, but if you want us to talk about it, we'll still talk about it. There's a very, very, very small list of movies that we will not discuss on this podcast, because there's some where neither of us will ever want to watch them again. I can think of 2 off the top of my head, but I'm not going to say them.
No,
I don't want to get like... No.
I get you.
Somebody commenting being like...
Yeah, so what should we watch next week? We could do like When Marnie Was There. I'm kind of feeling that. That one.
So if you have HBO Max, you can watch it. Otherwise, you have to like finagle it.
Yeah, I'll see what I can find. Thank you for joining us for another week of film therapy.
Thank you.
Remember to go home and take your
Thanks.
medicine and watch When Marnie Was There. It's an anime. You can watch it subbed or dubbed, whatever your preference. And we'll be back to talk about it next week. We're very excited. This is one we've talked about for a while, since the beginning of the podcast. So it's a good one. It's very therapeutic, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It fits into that genre. Which see previous episodes, whichever one it is. Thanks, and
Send us your emails.